In the hushed corridors of power and the music industry, an unexpected clash is brewing. Sean Combs, better known as Diddy, is facing an unprecedented public collapse. The accusations, investigations, and scandals have turned the icon into a pariah. And as the pressure mounts, a rumor has ignited the networks. Donald Trump is allegedly considering a presidential pardon for Diddy, but only if certain lines are crossed. At first glance, it might seem like a glimmer of hope for Diddy, but a towering shadow has risen in his path. Curtis Jackson, also known as 50 Cent. He wasted no time. He stood up, firm and cold in his resolve. To him, there's no way Diddy should receive any clemency. His message is clear: no pardon. Not on my watch. This is no petty celebrity feud. 50 Cent has his reasons, deep and strategic. He's one of the few in the industry who has dared to challenge Diddy openly for years. Their disputes are long-standing, marked by provocations, veiled threats, and subtle jabs. But this time, the stakes are different. It's no longer about ego or rivalry. It's a battle for influence, reputation, and perhaps survival. 50 Cent reacted with chilling speed at the mere mention of a pardon. He didn't just voice his disapproval. He vowed to personally step in and block any political rescue attempt. Because 50 isn't just an artist. He's a ruthless businessman, well-connected in political circles, even with Donald Trump himself, with whom he's had discussions and public appearances since the 2020 campaign. Behind his provocative stance, 50 Cent is pursuing a more subtle goal. Right now, he's preparing a documentary about the darkest accusations against Diddy, a project that could completely redefine the public image of the former hip-hop mogul. A weakened, discredited Diddy would be a far more profitable and sensational subject than a man exonerated by a presidential pardon. But beyond personal interests and past grudges, bigger stakes emerge. The political world is buzzing with speculation. Some believe Trump isn't driven by mercy, but by calculation. Diddy has long been close to Democratic elites who worked to weaken Trump during his presidency. Granting a public pardon could be a move to humiliate Diddy, to force him to bow down, only to slam the door in his face afterward. Other voices suggest a more troubling theory. Trump could use Diddy as leverage to extract compromising information about the most influential Democratic circles. Desperate for salvation, Diddy might be pressured into betraying his former allies in exchange for a promise of freedom. As the rumors swell, another threat looms. What if Diddy decides to reveal everything? It's no secret that behind the glitter, the music industry hides its demons. For years, Diddy has moved among the powerful, watching everything, taking note. He knows where the bodies are buried, the secret deals, the shady transactions, the ruleless nights in the most guarded villas. Some whispers claim that if Diddy realizes he's been abandoned, he won't hesitate to drag down those who once supported him before betraying him. Loyalty and honor would no longer matter. It would be all-out war. Trump's pardon might then seem like a carrot, a way to keep Diddy in check long enough to fix things behind closed doors. But it's a risky gamble. Diddy is a man of excess, but also of pride. Accepting a pardon would mean bowing to Trump, a man he despises. It would be signing a public act of submission and humiliation hard to swallow for someone who built his career on the image of an invincible man. 50 Cent seems to understand this. For him, letting Diddy secure a pardon would give him a chance to recover, to restore his reputation, to come back stronger, and perhaps even to bring down those currently conspiring against him. So 50 isn't just settling personal scores. He's ensuring Diddy can't become a threat again. Behind the scenes, one question haunts the minds of many. Is Diddy willing to sacrifice everything? His children? His legacy? His name? Doubts linger. Some believe he's too selfish to care about the consequences. Others bet he's still lucid enough to protect his loved ones, even at the cost of his own silence. Silence, in fact, is what the powerful fear the most. If Diddy talks, the consequences could be catastrophic. Careers destroyed, fortunes wiped out, reputations reduced to ashes. These wouldn't be mere private scandals, but affairs with political, economic, and even criminal implications. Behind the power struggle between 50 Cent and Diddy, an entire system is trembling, and Trump, too, is playing a dangerous double game. Offering a pardon to Diddy could alienate his electoral base, a base that sees Diddy as the embodiment of everything they despise: decadent luxury, elite arrogance, Hollywood's perceived immorality. Trump knows it, so he lets the shadow of a pardon linger without ever committing, sowing doubt, instilling hope, all while keeping his options open. It's a cynical game, but an effective one. Meanwhile, Diddy is fighting on all fronts: legal, media, financial. His assets are melting, his lawsuits are piling up, his supporters are vanishing. And in the shadows, 50 Cent waits, ready to strike at the first sign of weakness. In this silent war, there will be no second chances, no easy redemption, and certainly no pardon without a price. At this point, Diddy faces only bitter options. Every scenario looks like a downward spiral. Accepting a pardon means public submission. Refusing it means risking total ruin. The empire he built with sweat and image could turn to ashes. Some analysts suggest Diddy might attempt one last gamble: negotiate secretly, offering compromising information to federal agents to reduce his sentence without involving Trump. But even that has a cost: becoming a marked man, hunted by those he would have betrayed. And what if he chose silence? If pride led him to face his fate without compromise, it would be the final fall, perhaps prison, perhaps worse, but at least he would preserve the illusion of an intact dignity. 50 Cent is watching. He knows every move Diddy makes is driven by fear, pride, and survival. And in this cruel game, there's no room for mercy. He's waiting for Diddy to stumble, for the mask to fall completely. In the closed circles of the music industry, tongues are beginning to loosen. Some moguls are growing restless, worried about Diddy cracking under the pressure. Because if he falls, he won't fall alone. He will drag down with him those who, for decades, prospered in his shadow. Trump, for his part, keeps dangling the possibility of a pardon like a suspended sword, another weapon in his war against political enemies, a signal to those still pulling strings behind the scenes. The pardon has become a trap, hope, a weapon, and Diddy, once master of his empire, finds himself just a pawn on a board far beyond his control. No heroes, just ruins.